Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the British Accent Podcast. I'm Emily, and I'm here with Nick. Today's episode is all about one big myth that holds a lot of people back: the idea that you need a perfect, well-organized, peaceful life to learn English effectively.
Yeah, it's that belief that unless your schedule is perfect, your energy is high, your motivation's 100%, then you shouldn't even bother. And honestly, that mindset can stop you before you even start.
Totally. I've had so many learners say things like, "I'll start properly once I move to a quieter place," or "I need to fix my routine first." But real life is messy. You've got work, family, noise, bad days, unexpected stuff. If you wait for perfect, you'll wait forever.
Exactly. And here's the truth: most people who actually succeed in learning English, they don't have perfect lives. They've just learned how to fit English into the life they already have, even when it's chaotic.
I love that. Because learning a language isn't about having perfect conditions. It's about creating small, meaningful moments inside the life you've already got. Like listening to a podcast on your walk, or repeating a few phrases while cooking dinner.
Yeah, or reading a short article while you wait for the bus. That stuff adds up. It might not look impressive on the outside, but it's real, and it works. You're building progress in between everything else, and that's actually more sustainable in the long run.
And honestly, that's how most native speakers learn their own language, little by little, in real life, surrounded by noise and distraction. We didn't grow up in silent libraries with flashcards and color-coded notebooks. We just lived, and language came with it.
And that strength often shows up in quiet ways, like the person who listens to English every morning on their way to work, even if they are exhausted, or the parent who studies a few new words while their baby naps. It might not be glamorous, but it's real commitment.
Yeah, and those moments count. They really do. People underestimate how powerful 5 minutes a day can be when it's consistent. Especially when those 5 minutes happen during the messy parts of life, because that shows you're not waiting for perfect, you're building through the imperfect.
And the pressure to be some kind of ideal learner is honestly unrealistic. You don't need to wake up at 5 a.m., drink a green smoothie, meditate, and then study English for 2 hours in silence. If that works for you, great. But if it doesn't, that's fine too.
Right? You don't need a minimalist study desk and a calm, Instagrammable routine. You can study English while lying in bed, with dishes in the sink and laundry to do. Progress is still progress, even if it's happening in a bit of a mess.
I'd even say the learners who accept their chaos and work with it are often more resilient. They've already had to get creative, to adapt. That flexibility helps you stay with the language for the long term, instead of burning out.
Yes, because language learning isn't a race or a performance, it's a relationship. And like any relationship, you go through ups and downs. Some days you show up fully, some days only halfway, and some days not at all. That doesn't mean it's over.
That's such a good way to look at it. It's not about perfection, it's about connection. Keeping a little bit of English in your life, even when everything else feels out of control, is something to be proud of.
Exactly. And the beauty of English, or any language, really, is that it meets you where you are. You don't have to be in the right mood or the right space. You can be tired, distracted, overwhelmed, and still learn something. A phrase, a tone, a feeling. It still enters your brain.
And sometimes, those messy moments become the strongest memories. Like when someone tells me they learned the word exhausted while they were literally falling asleep on the train after work. It sticks because it connects to real life.
Yes. Learning becomes personal then. You're not just memorizing words, you're living them. And that kind of learning is powerful. It's emotional, it's human, and it makes the language part of your story, not just a subject in a book.
So if you're listening to this right now, and your life feels all over the place, please know this: you're not behind. You're not disqualified. You're not failing. You're just learning as you live, and that's more than enough.
More than enough, and more sustainable too. Because when English becomes part of your actual, everyday, messy life, it sticks. It doesn't disappear the moment your schedule changes. It grows with you.
And that's the key, really. It's not about building a perfect study routine and hoping it lasts forever. It's about creating a flexible connection with the language, one that moves with you when life changes, when plans fall apart, when you're tired, or overwhelmed, or distracted.
Exactly. I've seen people try so hard to force a perfect plan, and the moment something goes wrong, like they miss 2 days, they feel like they've failed. But you haven't failed just because life happened. That's life. It's normal.
And sometimes those breaks are part of the process. You might pause, but that doesn't mean you're starting from zero again. Your brain remembers more than you think. Your efforts haven't disappeared. They are just waiting for you to return when you're ready.
Yes, and honestly, your English journey doesn't have to look like anyone else's. It can be noisy, unpredictable, even messy, and still yours. Still valid. Still working. Even if it doesn't look impressive from the outside.
And maybe that's the most important reminder today: your life does not have to be perfect for your English to grow. You don't need silence to speak. You don't need free time to improve. You just need to keep showing up, in your way, in your time.
And the beautiful thing is, the language doesn't judge you. English isn't sitting there with a checklist saying, "You didn't study enough today." It's always open. Always ready when you are. Whether you come to it tired, excited, anxious, or distracted, it still welcomes you.
That's such a comforting thought. Because when everything else in life feels like pressure or deadlines, English can actually be the opposite. It can be something soft. Something just for you. A way to connect, not a way to perform.
And once you let go of that need to be perfect, everything feels lighter. You start to enjoy it more. You stop punishing yourself for missing a day, and you start noticing how much you are learning, even in the chaos.
Right. Maybe you understood a YouTube video without subtitles, or remembered a new phrase while talking to a friend. Those moments are gold. And they often happen when you're not sitting at a desk with a notebook. They happen in life.
Because that's where English lives. It lives in the messy bits. The moments between work and dinner, on the bus, during a quick break. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need the willingness to keep the door open. Even a little crack is enough.
Yeah, and the more you keep that door open, just a little, the more natural it feels. You stop seeing English as something separate from your life, and start seeing it as something woven into your life. Like music in the background, or a second voice in your head that gently grows louder.
I love that image. Because language doesn't just live in textbooks. It lives in your thoughts, your routines, even your emotions. The way you describe your day to yourself, the way you start to think in both languages at once, that's real fluency building quietly inside you.
And no one else needs to see it. No one else needs to validate it. You're allowed to learn privately, imperfectly, even inconsistently, and still be a real English learner. You don't need anyone's permission to call yourself that.
That's so true. Because it's not about being the best. It's not about showing off your grammar, or having perfect pronunciation. It's about belonging. Belonging to the language in your own way. Finding a version of English that feels like home to you.
And home doesn't have to be tidy, right? It can be full of books and teacups and to-do lists and noise, and still be yours. Still be a place where English is welcome, even if nothing else feels sorted out.
That's such a beautiful way to wrap it up. Because if there's one thing we want you to remember, it's this: your English journey belongs to you. Not your schedule, not your circumstances, not some perfect version of yourself. Just you, exactly as you are.
So even if your life feels a bit upside down right now, or you're learning in the middle of laundry and deadlines and stress, you're still making progress. You're still learning. You're still growing.
Thanks for sharing your time with us today here on the British Accent Podcast. We hope this conversation helped you feel a little less alone, and a little more proud of the learner you already are.
Keep going, even if it's messy. We'll be right here with you every step of the way.